Hi, everyone. It's Cassandra Williamson coming to you from a holler in eastern Kentucky. Yes, that's how they are pronounced around here. I hope you're having a good day. I am. I finally got up. I've been, since I'm retired, and I kind of stick around here helping family out. That's my main goal, main objective, main purpose right now. And so that's where I am. And I need to shrink that down so that I can actually see that better. So, how have you been today? Yeah, I know things are a little bit difficult sometimes, but hey, the best way to fight back against all of the bullying that we see taking place around the country right now, and by bullying I mean, like schoolhouse, schoolyard bullying kind of stuff. We see it from legislators all over the place. I mean, they bully people. They're going after trans people like crazy. So they're basically just bullying people and trying to deny them their health and well-being. So these aren't policies that have any kind of human connection to them. This is nothing more than bullying. That's all it is. So when we talk about laws that's targeting trans kids, for instance, we need to start dropping the political jargon and using terms like legislative discrimination. No, 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 no. Nobody keys in on all of that stuff, folks. They don't see that. Basically, what we need to start doing is calling it what it is. Our governor is, our House, our Senate or House or representatives or our state legislature, they're bullying people. They're bullying people they don't like. They don't want to see. And that's what you're doing. And that's what they're doing. They're not trying to protect anything. They're just bullying people. That's it. That's it. So there's no way to defend bullying, is there? I mean, whose side are you on? Really, whose side are you on? Are you on the side of the bullies? Or are you on the side of being a decent human being? That's what you need to consider, right? That's really what we need to consider. So we need to start taking control over this. Here's 5 different talking points. How to win the war of words, okay? So I've got these things over here. I'm going to pull them a little bit closer so I can actually see it a different way. Hold on a minute. Give me a second. Okay. So we've got 5 talking points I want to discuss. This is winning the war of words. And anyone in this community, anyone in any kind of community in the United States that's under attack by the Trump administration, you need to start doing things to go after those the words that are actually the way that kind of gives people an out so they can talk about it without coming across as being bullies and stuff. Look, you've got legislators who want to bully families. You got legislators trying to bully our doctors and our medical care professionals. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're telling you they're writing rules and policies and legislation that does nothing but bully people who know what they're doing. The health care for people. We're seeing that across the federal government with the recent rule that had to do with stripping away health care for federal employees who happen to be trans, regardless of age. Initially, it was just protecting the kids, so they went just a few months ago, they had a policy that came out, a carrier letter, basically that said, hey, we're just going to try to protect the kids. There's no more way of doing this. So they're going to try to make it look like that's where they're stepping into. And they didn't get a lot of pushback on that one. So they go the next step up, which is taking away health care for trans adults. But, that's not what it is. This is simply bullying. That's all it is. It's pushing people to do what the schoolyard bully wants them to do, even though we all know that bullying is not right. Right? I mean, we all know that. We all know that to be true. So that was the first thing. We need to start calling what it is. It's bullying. So we're going to reframe the debate. The second point in this is we're reframing the debate. It's life-saving medicine. It's not a culture war issue. This is life-saving medicine, folks. This is what we need to be focused on. This is how you need to project the words to say, hey, you know something? This type of bullying we're seeing from our president and from the Senate and the House of Representatives and people across the executive branch right now in this administration, we're seeing bullying. Unjustifiable bullying. That's all it is. So this is actually a life-saving thing that we're trying to protect here. And I'm sure that you don't want people to get in the way of your health care, do you? If you have somebody going into the doctor's office, do you want the federal government standing there telling you that, hey, look, you can't do this because we don't want you to do this because we're just bullies and we think we know better than you and your doctor and the person you're trying to take care of? They're getting between you and the doctor. That's what all this stuff is across the whole of the federal enterprise right now. It's an attempt to get between you and your doctor and take away and strip away the health care that's life-saving health care that we know is valid, folks. We know it's the right thing to do. Whew. So here's what's happened, though. See, those in opposition to the right for transgender people to exist openly, they've reframed this whole thing. They've changed it into a culture war issue, and we've let them do it. We haven't pushed back on it. And so we have a right and responsibility to push back. We have to change the narrative, though. So right now, the opposition has successfully made gender-affirming care sound experimental and scary, and that is not the case. We need to reclaim the language. Every major medical association in the country supports this care. Let's call it what it is. It's life-saving medicine, or doctor-prescribed health care. This shifts the frame from a political debate to a health issue. So you're no longer arguing about ideology. You're arguing about whether a child or an adult who is trans gets the medicine their doctor and their parents agree they need. Make it about everyone else's freedom. That's point number 3. Not just trans rights. This is about everyone, folks. The fight is bigger than bathrooms or pronouns. It's about fundamental freedom. If the government can reach into a family's private medical decisions for a trans child or a trans adult, which is what they're doing now, the message, then this is government overreach. It's plain and simple. The message is clear. Protecting freedom of trans families to make their own healthcare decisions is protecting your family's freedom from government control. Who wants government control in their lives, in their doctor's offices? No one, really. Nobody wants the federal government between you and your family and your doctor. That's government overreach on a large scale. We don't want that. Nobody does. There's not a person on any side of this debate over healthcare for, that actually saves lives. There's no one out here who's going, hey, we need to have the government step in right there because, that's an overreach. Yeah, really? Really? Jeez. Do you want the government in your healthcare, in your doctor's office, getting in the way of, I don't know, whatever it might be that you want? Let's say you want Viagra. Do you want you want the federal government in the way of that? Do you want the federal government in the way of you getting, let's say, just a bypass operation or therapy for lung disease or anything like that? Do you want that? Is that what you're looking for? Is that what you really want? That's what we're doing right now. We're letting the government extend its hand into every health decision of Americans. And it's easy for them just to go as far as they want to go if you don't speak up and do something about it, folks. Phew, talking point number 4. Let's go to the number 4. Talk about people, not concepts. Focus on kids, parents, and doctors. Yes. Don't get trapped in abstract debates. Now, I'm prone to do that. I'm prone to get stuck in these abstract debates because that's what I've spent a lot of time doing. It's not abstract to me. This is real. So you got to bring it back to the human level. You got to talk about the more powerful stories about people and not concepts. Talk about the parents and the grandparents who are having to deal with trans kids and even adult children of these people, grandparents and parents and so forth, who are seeking care but can't because the government has got its hand in the way of the door and holding the door closed to the right health care, and we let them do it. So are you on the side of kindness and cruelty or cruelty? Which one are you on? That's the question we need to be asking people. At the end of the day, we have to strip this down to the core moral question. These policies cause real documented harm. They lead to higher rates of depression and suicide. The question for, let's see, so the language we use must force people to confront that reality. The question for every politician and every voter isn't complicated. It's not at all complicated. Do we want to be a country that helps children or a country that hurts children? That's the real choice. Kindness or cruelty. Which side are you on? Those are the things we need to be talking about. That's how we need to reframe all this stuff. And the part about being joyful about this, joy is an act of resistance. Joy is an act of resistance. If you can go around and be happy with who you are, fine, good, great, go do it. Be happy where you are. Let joy overpower the negativity in your life. And for all the people out there who are feeling the pressure coming down from this federal government right now, from the executive branch in this federal government, find ways to be joyful about some things. Lock onto those, take care of your own selves, and be happy about that. Be happy with what you have, and fight for what has been taken away, that the bullies are stripping away, that the nation is, many in this country are allowing this to happen because they don't see it as being something that is morally charged, but in fact it is. It's a question of morality. Do you want kindness or cruelty in your life?